Okay, for part of this project I wanted a bulb cage for one of the vintage looking light bulbs, and I searched all over online, and I was able to find a bunch that just, you know, was either too small and delicate or just didn't match the style that I was looking for. So I decided to make my own. So I went into CorelDRAW and drew up this 2-inch inside diameter, 3-inch outside diameter circle, and ran a 1/4-inch rectangle at 60, 120, and 180, and that gave me my spacing. And then on the 2-inch circle, I went into the properties, and it gave me the length of the base, which 1.25 inches matches the nice copper light fixture that I have. So I ran that out and spaced out 6 rectangles equally, 1-inch length, and I put tabs on the end for tightening it around the light fixture that I have. So I decided to cut these out of brass. So I've run this already, and here you can see on my table the pieces that are cut out already. And I took them over to the buffing wheel, and here's my pieces. So my plan here is to take some copper tubing, put it over these 1/4-inch tabs, and then flatten it down, and I don't know, maybe run a rivet through there just for looks. And then I'll bend that copper tubing into the shape that I want. And then this piece here will get wrapped around the light fixture, the base of the light fixture, and the corresponding tabs for the bent copper tubing will come from this tab, and on it'll go, and I'll shape those and make my own bulb cage, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm working on the bulb cage, and I've come up with a shape that I pretty much like. And so now I'm at my slip roller, which I didn't get finished in time for the competition. But basically what I'm doing is I'm using that 5-inch or so diameter of that roller to form the curve on that part of the bulb cage, and then I'm just giving it a little bit of a reverse bend. And this is just very soft copper tubing, so it's easy to form by hand. So I'll need 6 of these. Okay, so there's my 6 pieces of copper tubing all bent up to approximately the same shape by hand. And if you don't have a roller, you could use anything, a gas bottle, a propane bottle, any round cylinder that you could bend around just to get a consistent uniform bend on there. So now we're going to ray these, but what I'm going to do is, instead of just leaving them separated, try to lay this out so I can show you. I'm going to cross drill in 1 or 2 places through all 6 of these tubes, and then I'm going to take a piece of 10 gauge copper wire and just run it around the outside circumference, just to give it a little support and to dress it up a little bit. And I'll probably drop a piece of solder in there to just kind of make it look period correct, age it a little bit, and I will polish it up when I'm done, but I think that'll be a nice little embellishment. So here we go. Okay, so now I've got the base that goes around the bulb holder kind of splayed out a little bit and rounded off, and I have my top cap, and I have those tabs slightly bent down, and you can see these are 1/4-inch wide tabs, and this is 1/4-inch outside diameter, so you know, obviously it's not going to fit, but once I start peening this down and it flattens out, it'll widen out enough to get that tab in there, and then I'll finish peening it down. And I went through and drilled all my holes for the basket to go around there. You can see, cleaned them up a little bit, reamed out the edges or the ends of the tubes, clean them up a little bit. So we're going to start putting these together. Okay, now you can see I've gone through and peened down those edges, put them over those tabs, and then flatten them out. These are all really nice and tight already. So we'll see, maybe from the inside I'll hit it with a little flux and some solder just for a good measure. But other than that, I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. So there's the bottom. We'll have a little alignment to do with those, and have that bottom in just a minute. Okay, so here you can see I've got the first piece of copper, solid copper wire run through there sideways. This one and this one will be snipped. This section here will remain open to facilitate replacing the light bulb. I didn't want to try to come up with some kind of design where it would flip open or something like that. I don't really have the time or the effort to make that a go. So we got our first one through there, and getting ready to run the top one through. So basically what you want to do is get your piece of copper and bend it to approximately the diameter. Try and make it as smooth as possible and feed it through as you go. Just work it around. It's a little bit difficult. A lot of it will have to do with how accurate you are with drilling your holes and lining those up. This one went in pretty easily. After about the third hoop, got a little bit difficult, so I had to really work to get it around, but overall not too bad. So I'm really happy with the way this is turning out. And when it's done, we'll polish it all up, give it a coat of clear, and it'll be beautiful. So on to the next one. Okay, and here's the finished product. Here's a copper base that I ordered online. It's an eBay. It's a store that specializes in vintage lighting products. So I ordered that base, and I polished up everything. Used my little butane torch to do just a little bit of a weld on each joint. And I wasn't going for a perfect weld on any of this. Just wanted it to look, you know, period, that somebody sat down and made it. Well, I did. I sat down and made it. But, you know, not mass produced. And I'm way satisfied with this. This is better than anything that I could find online. There was some really flowery ones and wispy, wiry ones. But this one, I just kind of like the shape of it, and honestly, this whole thing has sort of a, even though it's steampunk, a lot of it is like Wizard of Oz type stuff, especially with the tornado chamber, the tornado in the Wizard of Oz, and the man behind the curtain with all the machinery and everything. And I was wanting to go for a hot air balloon type of shape with this globe, and that's a little nod to the wizard in the balloon. So really happy with the way this turned out, and I think it's going to be a really nice accent piece to this whole project. So there we go. Steampunk project by Mike Gallucci, Old Sarge on Plasma Spider.